Greetings, everybody. This is Matt, and this is Epidemiology and Community Health. I'm just going to give you a brief introduction into the syllabus, and we'll talk about the assignment due dates, the assignments that we're going to be responsible for, and we'll do just a brief overview of those assignments. Okay, so this is our home page. We're going to click to the syllabus button. You're going to see that the syllabus is posted here, as well as the assignment due dates. And I already opened these assignments. So here's our syllabus. Okay. Again, my contact information is there. I just ask that you send me an email before you try to reach me by phone. I'm not going to read through all of this. Obviously, I'll let you read through this on your own. Some important things to note. The textbook is listed there. It's listed by the ISBN number. If you do not have the textbook yet, you can still get through the week 1 course material without the textbook, but I would recommend that you check it out as soon, you get a copy of it as soon as possible. And by all means, get a used copy. If you don't have the most recent edition, you can get by with that one, with an older edition as well. I think it's only in the second edition at this point. So obviously this is an online accelerated format. Well, it's going to move pretty quickly. It's an 8-week course. As far as the class participation, we will be doing weekly Collaborate sessions. Those are really just going to be Q&A. You are not required to log on. They will be recorded. I know some of you are out on the West Coast and might not be able to make it. Okay. Here's the standard grading for the course. This is for the school. I'm sorry. So I don't know why, but St. Joe's doesn't use D's. Never figured that one out. Or B minuses. A minus, B plus, B, C, or F. So we'll talk more about this, but this is basically what we're going to be doing. For the first 5 weeks, we'll be having discussions. There's going to be 5 tests. There's a human subjects training, which we'll talk more about, an article critique, a PowerPoint presentation that you're going to produce and share with your peers, and then the final exam. And that's going to include a cohort study, a create study, and we'll talk more about that one as well. Here is the schedule that we're going to be looking at. So first week is introduction, terminology. Then we get into some of the mathematics. Weeks 2 through 5 will primarily be mathematics. And then 6, 7, and 8 we'll be looking at different types of research studies. And then I think I'm going to skip over the rest of this. You can feel free to read this. This is, again, pretty much cut and paste from the school policies. Okay? So, again, if you have any questions about the syllabus, feel free to shoot me an email. The assignment due dates should be up here somewhere. I guess I can open it up. So here's our assignment due dates. So every Sunday by midnight, you're going to have an assignment due. Including the first week, Sunday, May 11th. Please have them in by midnight. I like to try and have Grade Center updated by Monday afternoon or Monday evening. It's not a guarantee, it's my target. So the first week we're going to have a test. We're also going to have an assignment. I'll talk more about that. And then for the first 5 weeks we're going to have discussions. So it's just for the first week only we have an assignment. And then after that, it's tests 2 through 5, discussions 2 through 5. The human subjects training is going to be due on June 15th, along with the article critique. PowerPoint presentation is going to be due June 22nd, and then the final exam. Okay. Again, all assignments are due by by midnight on Sunday. So please have those in. I think we have a holiday, so I'll have to check that out. If we have a holiday, I guess it's Memorial Day weekend, I think I'll probably push the assignment, that due date, back 24 hours. But otherwise, please have the assignments in on Sunday night. Okay, so just a brief discussion on the assignment descriptions. So first of all, there's an article critique. And what you're going to be doing is locating an article somewhere in an epidemiology journal or a medical journal, some type of medical journal, What I always encourage students to do is look up a subject that they have either a professional or a personal interest in. So select a peer-reviewed research article from either an epidemiology journal or really any medical journal. Um, and by all means, check out the St. Joe's Library. There's a lot of e-journals that are available there. And then evaluate that article using these critique questions. Okay, so there's 22, 23 questions here. And again, we'll talk more about this as we approach this subject. But usually these are 3 to 4 pages by the time you're done answering all these questions. No one-word answers. I've had some students, answer with yes or no, and that's not appropriate, not for graduate school. Okay, so we'll talk again a little bit more about this as this is approaching. There is an example that I have posted. I don't think I opened it. Oh, here it is. So this is an example of the article critique. This was done by a student a couple years ago. This was the reference right up front, which is perfect, and then she has each question, and then a few sentences to a paragraph answering each one of those questions. Okay. All right. So should be pretty straightforward. And again, I'll give you some more information as we approach. I think that's week 6. Okay. The human subjects training. You may have done this training for another course here at St. Joe's. I think it's a research methods course. This training is a requirement for that course as well. So if you have already completed this training, you do not have to redo the training. Just simply forward me a copy of the completed certificate, the completion certificate. Okay. Takes about 4 to 5 hours to complete. Here's the instructions on how to access this. Again, I would probably suggest that you get started on this sooner rather than later. Once you log in, you don't have to do the whole thing at once. You can log in and do 30 minutes or an hour at a time. There's 11 different sections. Each section has a short quiz at the end of it. So, try and get started on that as soon as you can. PowerPoint presentation is going to be due week 7, I think. I have some instructions on the PowerPoint presentation, and then I have some examples of PowerPoint presentations that students have done in the past. And essentially what you're going to do is locate and evaluate. So it's kind of a continuation of the article critique assignment. You can do the same subject that you did for the article critique assignment. It does not have to be the same subject. If you do the same topic for your article critique and your PowerPoint, you can use that article that you used for your critique as one of your references. And what you're going to do essentially is what we refer to as a systematic review. You're not really doing a systematic review, but it's locate at least 5 peer-reviewed research articles from epidemiology or medical journals, and just summarize. It's supposed to be on the same exact topic, the same subject. So if you're interested in breast cancer rates in women in an urban area, for example, you want to look at 5 different research articles that on the same exact subject, and basically kind of summarize all of the information from those 5 different research articles. Okay. So it's very likely that you'll come across conflicting results from multiple studies. That's fine. That's almost expected. You may come across bias or limitations in the studies. So you're expected to identify both of those. And the point of this is to have you gain the ability to properly research a topic, a subject, which you probably already know how to do somewhat. But this is supposed to give you a little bit stronger base for being able to properly research a health topic. Okay. So let's see. PowerPoint presentation. So again, there's some examples there that I would encourage you to check out. And the last assignment is the create a cohort study assignment. I'm not going to get into that right now, just because you're going to hand that in with your final exam. So we have 8 weeks to talk about that. But there's some instructions there. There's some examples of the cohort studies that other students have done. So we'll talk about those a little bit later. And the final exam, since we started to talk about that already, the final exam, there's not going to be anything new on the final exam. The final exam is going to be almost all math, or not almost all it's going to be all mathematics. We'll have seen all these questions on test 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I just changed the numbers up a little bit. So the final exam, it's going to be all mathematics. It's not going to be anything that you have not seen before. It's all going to be things that you've seen. So when you're doing tests 2, 3, 4, and 5, when you get that test back from me, make sure that you understand where you made mistakes, and make sure that you use my feedback to understand how you will do that problem correctly the next time that you see it. So I will give you a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance with the first 5 tests. The final test, you're on your own. I will not give you any help or hints to, because again, you should know how to do that. Okay, so that's all for right now. I will give another presentation about the information in course module number 1. Okay, take care.